How y'all doing? This is Mongo Slay, and these are my WWE Clash of Champions predictions. So we're gonna go match by match. I'm gonna give my thoughts basically about what I think of the story going into the match, and who I think is gonna win, and what do I believe may happen during the match. So the kickoff show is going to be Asuka versus Selena Vega for the Raw Women's Championship. Now I got into some arguments with some people who were very, very angry that Asuka and Selena Vega are on the kickoff show. The most notable, the most logical argument that I did get was that Asuka is a world champion. The Raw Women's title is a world title. It should not be on the kickoff show. Here's my thing. I'm not gonna say that's wrong. This title has main event at WrestleMania. Okay. At the same time, somebody's got to start the show. Okay, so it is that simple. Now there are other matches that could start the show. If we're being honest, there are other matches that I believe probably fit better on the kickoff show. And I do think that it's a problem to put this match here. But I think if you put the match on the kickoff show, it probably gets the most eyes. And I think most people are going to, you know, really not just see it, but really be able to take it in, as far as when you putting it in between something else that's going on. And every other match on this card has a significant amount of history and storyline and weight going into it. This is the only match that is kind of set up within 2 weeks. And it doesn't hurt Asuka at all. It doesn't really hurt Selena Vega at all. It really just kind of gives them both an opportunity to set the standard for the show. And Selena Vega is sort of an untested act as far as in ring goes. Her one match with Mickie James was okay. It was a little clunky. I'm not so sure if it was her or it was Mickie. And then the match is also kind of a foregone conclusion because I don't expect Asuka to lose the title here. Asuka's a bit of a dominator. She's ferocious. Zelina is sneaky. She's acrobatic. I think this match is mostly going to be to test Zelina Vega. There was a lot of people who are, oh, Zelina Vega says Vince McMahon really liked her, and then he put her on the kickoff show. It's like, yeah, and he likes R-Truth, and R-Truth is not on the show at all. You have to think about these things. Like, just because he likes somebody doesn't mean he puts them at the top of the card. That just means that they kind of guaranteed a spot. But I really would like for Zelina to get the title. It's not going to happen here, but I do want Zelina to win the title eventually. And maybe this is her first shot, and I think maybe on her second or third. And I do think that they're probably going to have more than two. She's probably going to end up winning the title. It would be nice if we could get something with Andrade and Garza to sort of, bring them together as all champions. That would be sweet, but probably not right now. So, the United States Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. And I just have Lashley winning. The Hurt Business is rolling right now. I don't see any reason to derail them. You do have the Retribution issue. Does the Retribution maybe help Apollo win? You also have the Ricochet and Mustafa Ali and all those guys who are on Apollo's side. Are they going to come out and help? I don't know. This match could be on the kickoff show, if we're being honest. You could trade this match for Zelina Vega and Asuka, if you want to be honest. Now, I do believe that both Lashley and Apollo Crews deserve to be on the main card. But you could easily put this on the kickoff show and nobody would probably lose their mind or shed any tears. Though it is further away from the main event than I want Lashley to be. But I do think that Lashley he wouldn't look right losing the title yet. The Hurt Business has really been picking up as far as their story with Retribution and all that type of stuff. I think maybe you get a Retribution angle here. Does Retribution interfere and cost Lashley the belt? That would be crazy. And I don't think that they want to put an L on the Hurt Business like that. And it probably will have Retribution beat them before you have Lashley lose the title to Apollo Crews. Plus, Apollo Crews doesn't really need the title anymore. You need to sort of move Lashley towards the higher level titles. Now, another match that should be on the kickoff show: the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade for the Raw Tag Team titles. The probably 400th match they've had, between these two teams. Now, in my head canon, I would say it would be a sweet story for Zelina to win the Raw Women's title, and then for her to use that to say, hey, look, I told you my way works. If you guys listen to me, you'll win. And then, Andrade and Angel Garza go out there as a collective unit, and then they do win the tag team titles. I think that would be a sweet story, and I think it would be useful, and it would make Raw, since they put all this effort behind these guys since April, it's time to pay it off. It is time to pay it off, but I still don't think it's going to happen because the Street Profits are just rolling. And for all of the people who complain that, they bury everybody from NXT, the Street Profits almost never fucking lose. They almost never lose. And they are in every commercial for Raw. They are highlighted every week. The Street Profits are there even if they don't have a match. They are cutting a promo. They're playing characters. They're doing all kind of things. The Street Profits are the guys that are just holding this down. And I fear for the tag team division if the Street Profits aren't the champions anymore. Especially since you don't have any contenders. So I'm going to go ahead with the Street Profits again. It may be, same old, but there's no reason to take the titles off of them yet. Unless you're going to bring Andrade, Garza, and Zelina all as champions, then you need to basically move on from Andrade and Garza. And maybe they need to go on to do other things. Or maybe they need to have a draft so these guys can go to SmackDown. One of them can go to SmackDown. We definitely need a draft. And speaking of another match that could be on the kickoff show, Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro versus Lucha House Party. So you have the Mexicans fighting in two different storylines for two different versions of the tag team titles. Oh, God. Lucha House Party is on the verge of breaking up. Well, I shouldn't say the Mexicans because Lince Dorado, I think, is Puerto Rican. So, Gran Metalik wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown. It's a pretty good match. And then after the match, Lince Dorado pushed down Kalisto. Kalisto and Lince Dorado have kind of they've not been the best of friends since Kalisto returned. This probably would be Kalisto probably trying to help them win and then costing them the match. And then Lucha House Party is going to break up. I do think that breaking up Lucha House Party is the right deal. Look, I don't like the name Lucha House Party. I don't mind luchadors in a tag team. I think that's a great idea. But Gran Metalik and I think Kalisto can speak in English, his version of English. He's from Chicago. But I fear for what happens for Gran Metalik as a solo act because his English is not that good. And I think that's the one reason why I kind of want Lucha House Party to continue because I don't want them to bury Lince Dorado. I mean, not Lince Dorado. I don't want them to bury him either. He's actually pretty good too. But I think Gran Metalik, hopefully, if they break this team up, maybe Triple H can snatch him and bring him back to bring him to NXT. That would be fantastic for Lince Dorado. I keep saying Lince Dorado. I meant Gran Metalik. Lince Dorado is good too, though. Like he's the 205 Live thing, and him and Kalisto. Kalisto is also pretty good. I like all three of these guys individually. I don't like Lucha House Party as a gimmick. It's stupid. Okay, now if they would call themselves the Lucha Dragons again, that might be fun. That was Kalisto and Sin Cara, but that's actually cool. Lucha House Party is corny as hell. But you got the Hispanics fighting in both tag team divisions and whatever. But I think Nakamura and Cesaro are going to win this match. Just because, I mean, you don't have any options if Lucha House Party wins. If Lucha House Party wins, the only options you really got are Miz and Morrison. If Nakamura and Cesaro win, your only options are Heavy Machinery. So I don't know. Like the tag team divisions in WWE is a shame. It is criminal. The tag team division are the abandoned children of the WWE. They are the snot-nosed, crust on the face, barefoot, running through the streets children of the tag team of wrestling, period. Like, this is the worst tag team division in wrestling. It is. Like, it's legit the worst tag team division in wrestling because it's just really the Street Profits, and every other team is either undervalued, like heavy machinery, not used at all, or makeshift. So I don't really have outside of the Street Profits. What do you have? Even on NXT, you don't really have that many good tag teams. So it's basically you got to keep the titles on Cesaro and Nakamura. So Nakamura, the permanent gatekeeper, he's just going to have a title every year. And that's people. I saw people complaining about Nakamura too. They were like, "Oh, Nakamura's been held down." Like, do you not realize that for 3 years straight, Nakamura has been a champion for more than a month. He's been like when he was the United States champion. He was United States champion forever. He was like United States champion for like 6 months. And then, he was the Intercontinental champion. It was the same thing. He was the Intercontinental champion for like 6 months. And now he's been a tag team champion for a long time. They're really keeping belts on Nakamura. Like, they're keeping him in a spot. He's staying visible with titles. It's a subconscious hypnosis that you're going to believe that Shinsuke Nakamura is having a great run. Because he's always got a belt. Cesaro always has a belt too. Cesaro does not go long without a belt. He's won like 400 tag team titles, but he's always had a belt. So these two guys are the gatekeepers. I'm cool with that. They just need opponents. Like, where's Gable? There's so many people like Riddle and Corbin and Sheamus. Like, some of these guys you could utilize them in the tag team division. Just give them partners. It doesn't matter who. At some point you have to be able to rebuild your tag team division. And SmackDown needs it really bad, but Raw needs it really, really bad. Basically, everybody needs to rebuild their tag team division in terms of the WWE. So, Bayley versus Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh my. Now, this is where I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'd say Nikki Cross is going to win the title. Why? Because Sasha Banks is going to interfere. And you also have more. Now, you do have storyline. Now, this is where things really get good, because you have great storylines going in both directions. If Bayley wins, then you get Bayley Sasha for the title. That's awesome. And their story, but do their storyline really need it? That's the question. Now, Bayley is, her whole gimmick is being the champion. The whole storyline between her and Sasha has been about holding titles and being the champion. It makes sense to keep the title on Bayley. Okay? It makes sense. So I wouldn't be mad if I was wrong about this. On the flip side, if Nikki Cross is the champion, then you get Nikki Cross and this fiend out Alexa Bliss, who is, apparently Alexa Bliss is going to turn into a rage monster every time she hears, she's, the Fiend's, I don't know what kind of music that is, but it's like a Fiend music. And it turns her into like a monster, and she goes and starts beating up people and using the Sister Abigail and being dark and wicked. And Nikki Cross wants to be the hero to save her friend, but Nikki wants the title. Alexa wants the title. You have that opportunity there as well, right? You have the opportunity to, again, you have the same story. You have best friends fighting each other, but Bayley and Sasha Banks are already in the middle of their thing. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are just kind of at the beginning of their thing. Both the title could help both storylines, but I think that they may want to put the title on Nikki Cross just to tell the story that Sasha Banks wants to cost Bayley something that means something to her. And that may be the story. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that put the title on Nikki Cross because it's a better decision. What I'm saying is they may tell the story that Sasha Banks wants to really, really hurt Bayley. And the best way to do it, since you can't beat her up, because you can't have a match yet, is you're going to cost her something that you put Bayley behind the 8 ball. And now she's not the champion anymore. Now Bayley has to chase for the title. And you can always put the title back on Bayley later. Of course, you have to break this epic run she's been on. But you can always put the title back on Bayley later. So I'm going to go with Nikki Cross on this one. So then you have Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the WWE Universal Championship. I did a video on this. This is my favorite feud in wrestling. Okay, this has been tremendous. The Uso Reigns feud has been absolutely tremendous. And if we're being honest, there is no question that Roman Reigns is going to win this match. It's only a question of how long the match will be and how much offense Jey Uso is going to get in. This match will not be more than 10 minutes. It'll probably be about 5 or 6. I think that Jey Uso is going to get one probably really badass near fall where he probably hits his finish on Roman, and then Roman's going to kick out and then kill him. And then that's going to be it. They're probably going to book Roman like Brock, where he's going to sell for you a little bit, and then he's going to take your head off, and then that's going to be it. That would be perfect booking of Roman Reigns. Don't leave him in there to do 20 minutes with some of these guys. It's not necessary right now, especially not with Jey Uso. You don't want to spend Roman doing 20 minutes with Jey Uso. 5 or 10. Under 10, probably like 7 or 8. I don't expect it to be a finger poke of doom where, Jey going to come in there and lay down. No. I don't expect Roman to go in there, spear him in 3 seconds and pin him. No, I don't expect that either. I think Jey is going to get some offense, probably a couple of punches, probably hit his finish, 5 or 6 minutes tops. But it's going to be fun, But it needs to reinforce the hierarchy as far as Roman needs to kill Jey Uso flat, kill him clean, and that's it. And that'll work for me. That'll get the story over. The triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. This probably will open the show. Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Okay, so SmackDown, they did the title hanging ceremony where they had the 3 guys in the ring, and they put, Sami Zayn gave up his belt, and Hardy gave up his belt, and they raised the belts. And then they did a triple threat match, which was stupid. Like, that's just, I just watched these guys wrestle each other. And then they did the absolutely most cliche finish. I swear every WWE triple threat match always ends the same way. One guy hits his finish. While he's trying to pin him, the other guy throws him out of the ring and then steals his pin. It's every single time this triple threat match but ends the same way. I fucking hate triple threat matches. But this ladder match is going to be fun. I would really have preferred for them not to touch. Maybe even have these guys wrestle other people on SmackDown. And then, they all win their matches, and then they come into this match with, momentum. But now you're going to come into this match with Sami Zayn having won the triple threat match, Jeff Hardy having lost the triple threat match, and AJ Styles having got the title or got the triple threat match stolen from him. And now I'm just sitting here like my plan was to pick Sami Zayn. Because I thought that Sami Zayn winning the title, winning the title because he's not the champion, would have made perfect sense. But do you really want to put Sami Zayn over twice in the next couple of days? Usually, storytelling would say since Jeff Hardy lost the triple threat match, he would win the ladder match. But I think Jeff would be a better opponent for Roman, if we're being honest. Roman is going to need opponents after this whole Jey Uso thing, and he needs to continue his storyline about being responsible and all that type of stuff. And I think Jeff Hardy is a perfect opponent to take it to the next level. He's a legit main event opponent, legit world champion, and the barbs that they can throw at each other between Roman trying to big dog Jeff, and he can't really big dog Jeff because Jeff has been a champion before Roman was even in the company. So you have to kind of, that sounds fun to me. Like, that's a fun storyline, the Jeff Hardy Roman Reigns storyline. And I want that. That just may mean that Jeff has to lose the Intercontinental title, and I'm cool with that. But now I'm thinking Jeff Hardy is going to win the match because he just got pinned. So obviously in WWE booking, you get pinned in one match, you win the other one. So we're going to go with Jeff Hardy. I'm not really a big fan of triple threat matches. Whatever. I hate triple threat matches. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton in the ambulance match for the WWE Championship. Okay. Wait a minute, I skipped something. All right, there it is. The Riot Squad versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, so I like the Riot Squad. I do. I think that they would be good tag team champions. They should have been the ones to beat Bayley and Sasha Banks. I will wave that flag until the end of time. But they're going to lose this match. There's just no reason to take the titles off of Nia and Shayna so far. I think that maybe you'll probably have your retribution angle here, as you'll probably get Mercedes Martinez and Mia Yim, who I think they've changed her name to Reckoning. I don't know who Mercedes Martinez is. I don't know what her name is yet. But you'll probably have the girls from the Retribution fighting Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Even though it will probably make more sense for it to be the Riot Squad. I mean, it is what it is. Or it's, they just, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler having the titles is a problem. There's nothing wrong with either one of them, but they are not a real tag team. Now maybe they're trying to tell the story of them becoming a tag team, but you want the tag team titles on a tag team. Again, like WWE has the worst tag team division in wrestling. All four of them, all five of them, because the fucking NXT UK tag team titles don't even exist from what it seems like. So it's been bizarre. It's been bizarre. The tag team divisions is really bizarre. But I like Nia and Shayna as a team. It's fun. It's fine, I guess. But I really just don't think they're going to lose to the Riot Squad. I do think that Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Retribution is probably what they're going to have going forward. Which, of course, is a big fuck you to the Riot Squad. Because they deserved the titles. And I don't mean to use that as a sense of entitlement. But what I'm saying is they need to finish the storyline of those two becoming good friends again. And them winning the titles would be like the cherry on top of the reformation of the Riot Squad. And they're just putting it off when you could just do it, but Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax fighting Retribution, Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez will be badass. I would like that. So let's go with that. We're going to go with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as the tag team champions. And then maybe afterwards, we're going to have Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez as their opponents. So now we're going to go to the ambulance match. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. I do expect this match to main event because this is going to be a real match, and I actually do believe we're going to get a title change here. I think Randy Orton wins number 14 in this match. Because, now, how they going to book this thing is going to be a surprise. Because Keith Lee has been integral to this storyline, but he's not in this match. You also have Retribution stuff, because anything that involves Raw, you're going to have Retribution shit, okay? Is Retribution going to get involved? Is Randy Orton behind Retribution? Is Keith Lee behind Retribution? Is it going to be that Retribution is going to try to help one or the other win or something to that effect? I don't know. But you also have the Keith Lee wild card. Is he going to come out there and interfere? Probably not, because he has, been a victim of people interfering in his matches. And plus, I don't think it helps anybody for there to be interference in this match. I think Randy Orton just plain wins. I think he just probably punts Drew McIntyre in the head probably 2 or 3 times, slides him in the ambulance, close the goddamn door, and that's it. And it doesn't hurt Drew because he doesn't have to take a pinfall. Maybe you do a big spot that weakens Drew, put him through a table, or they fall off of a high place or something like that, and then, boom, he kicks him in the head afterwards. And then, that's it. I would be definitely surprised if they go anywhere near having tons of entrance or tons of interruptions into this match. But this should be fun. I don't think I've ever seen an ambulance match that I've really liked. Or a stretcher match, by the way, because this is basically just a stretcher match. I really haven't seen that many that I liked. It's not my favorite stipulation, the ambulance match. But who knows? This one might become my favorite. But that's all we got here. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Hit me up with your predictions. Like this video, share and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.